all you wonderful people, and welcome to the show that looks at games from the past, the present, or sometimes even the future and decides what their judgment is going to be. I am your host, Gamessnia, and today is another edition of the Gamessnia Show. But you know what, a while back I actually got Gran Turismo 7 on the PS5, and if I'm being honest, I'm never excited for racing games, but this thing right here, I was definitely excited for it because Gran Turismo isn't the greatest racing franchise in my eyes. In fact, I'm not really a big fan on racing games themselves, but I was actually really excited for this. I didn't know why, and when I got it a day earlier actually, which I was very surprised by. I wasn't complaining, but I was very surprised by it. Managed to get it a day early, and oh my god, I love this game. I love Gran Turismo 7. I am enjoying it so much right now. And really, I said to myself, should I do a video on it? And at the end of the day, I just thought to myself, no, I'm not going to. Instead, I thought to myself, I am in the Gran Turismo mood, and I'm going to continue playing this Gran Turismo 7. I definitely will. That is definite, and I'm still enjoying it as of right now. But I thought to myself, why not go back to the original Gran Turismo 1? Because if I'm being honest, I don't remember playing Gran Turismo 1. I remember playing Gran Turismo 2. I remember having memories of Gran Turismo 1, but not me actually playing it, because obviously I was the person in the house with brothers that had the PlayStation, but I wasn't allowed to go on it because I was too young. So understandably, I've never played the first Gran Turismo. But I'm intrigued. I want to know how this franchise started off, and I want to know how it got to the level that it is now, obviously with Gran Turismo 7. So that is exactly what we're going to be doing today. And it's very intriguing for me because I don't know. I really want to know how this franchise started and how it started off as. I can only imagine it's going to be quite innovative and quite impressive. So let's just go with this. This is Gran Turismo 1 on the PS1.
I mean, I see one thing that hasn't changed at all in this franchise. A long, dragged out 3-minute opening sequence filled with, you guessed it, cars. And I don't mean the little collection your dad has in his basement with all the old fossilized motors you forgot even existed, because that's what dads do. I mean cars. The sound of engines on the racetrack, the wind blowing in your hair, the screeching of rubber tires on the gravel, the racers competing for the chance to cross that white checkered flag as number one. This right here, it isn't kiddie Dickie Kong racing, this is real racing. This is Gran Turismo.
But it's just that intro. It's the intro that makes you experience what a car racer game's going to be like. You know, it makes you experience what it's going to be like behind the wheel, pushing your foot down on that accelerator, shifting into gear, and experiencing the true world of racing. Oh fuck. The nostalgia.
Well, there you go. It took less than a minute for the nostalgia to get to me. The sounds, the music, just the look. Looking at that gives me flashbacks to a much simpler time. And the weirdest thing about all of this is, I have zero, count them, zero memories of this game, and that right there is the power of Gran Turismo 1 for you. It instantly grabs your balls with the power of its succulent, funky soundtrack and hypnotize you into pushing that X button to enter the driving simulator of your dreams.
But nah, I'm not being fooled like that. I'm not being sucked in and hypnotized like that Gran Turismo. I'm one step ahead. Because after the last episode of the Gamessnia Show with Guardians, I then asked the development team from the Gamessnia Labs to develop a device that could basically, in a way, negate such an effect. And that is why the team have took their time and effort to develop something of a device that suits that description. And now, these may just look like normal glasses when they are normal glasses, or so you think, when really the team decided to take glasses and modify them in a certain way, and I quote on them on this, the name that they gave it was the Perception Invalidating Shift Spectacles. Now, I didn't make up the name, I didn't ask, I didn't question it, I just wore them, and that's what I'm going to be doing. So with these on, I look cool, and I don't get fooled.
And just so today we can get the proper way of having an actual proper take on the game as a whole, I feel the story or main mode is the best route to go. I mean, arcade is there, but there's one problem. I suck. I at least need to get the bases down, learn the mechanics, play the story, and, well, most of the game. Oh, fuck off, nostalgia! Oh my, so many choices. What brand do I pick? What car? Do I pick a basic teen car, or maybe a Suburban Classic, or perhaps a Mazda machine for better engine power, or maybe get a license, you scrub!
Okay, fine.
So let's start with the B license, the requirement I need, the bare minimum as you would say. 8 tests, 7 tutorials, multiple motors. Let's do this. Oh wait, hold on. Rough start there. Let's do that again. Yes, first 2 trials done. What's next? Oh, cornering, stepping things up more. I like that. Let's do it.
Excuse me, what?
Bronze? You might as well just spit in my coffee and smash my biscuits up once I take them out of the cupboard. I'm not taking bronze, I'm going for silver at the minimum. So let's do this again, Gran Turismo.
Ah shit, I got bronze again. Ah well, one more try. Let's just try it. Ah, fuck. And I get no. One more time, no. Bit more facets, no. Take our time with the good, no. No, 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 no.
No, 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 no!
I gave up. As much as I don't like it, I'm just gonna accept the bronze medal at this point.
I will not forget this. For as long as I live, I will not forget this.
You know, a name will cheer me up, maybe. Let's see, what can I think of that would actually work? Yeah, there you go. Chad.
Because let's face it, I'm an absolute shad with you rad as fuck shades right now.
And you know, it's not too bad with these licensed trials, as I like to call them. I remember them being a bit of a pain, which they are, for the first few ones like you just saw. And the handling is something kinda gotta get handled properly in this game, otherwise, well, yeah, that happens. I mean, this game may be a racing game, but let me tell all of you this. If that is the notion you are going into this like I did, don't. This isn't a racing game, it is a driving simulator. That is not just a market ploy or tagline on the front of the case, it is exactly what this game is. A real life simulation game of what it's like to drive a car or motor or whatever type of term you prefer on certain tracks and learn on how crucial the handling of a motorized vehicle can be. This is no Forza, this is no Mario Kart or Crash Team Racing, no Need for Speed or even close to any of the driver games. You can't simply just turn your car at the last possible second to undo your mistakes or turn corners at full speed. You need to know on how to approach every single corner, crack and crevice with absolute accuracy. So slowing down around tight corners or turning closest to the wall or knowing when to hit the brakes to prepare for the next couple of curves are all things you have to consider, and it's stuff like this that make you constantly aware and create a very tense feeling, especially when doing races, and trust me, it's relenting. It's something you just gotta keep trying at, and finally upon hours of playing it come to the realization that you still fail.
And you know when I said the licenses were easy? Yeah, Ignore me.
You are going to spend hours on trying to apply for a bloody license in this game that by the time you pass a proper real-life driving test, you'll still be stuck here on A4 of Gran Turismo of the license tests. And you know it's fine for the B license ones because you can get by all those trials with very much ease, with some exceptions of it being really tough, but a B license... it only gets you into the first racing circuit, and you want to race more than that? Well, tough shit. You need to finish the entirety of the A license tests, and you know what? I fully pardon my language here, but they can go and fuck themselves with the license A tests. Are they hard? Absolutely. Can they be done? Absolutely. But why, oh why, are they so demanding? You know, for a game mode that's all about learning driving skills and passing them to get into races, it's pretty unforgiving, all things considered. I can safely say the license test from the original Gran Turismo is one of the most torturous and most painful journeys I've ever had to go through in a game. It is shocking, and I repeat, shocking, the minimum requirement you need for each of these trials. I can't make this up. I am absolutely shocked by the challenges it expects you to pull off, especially on the A3 course, which took me a whole grand dose of, wait for it, 1 hour and 45 minutes. And after all that time wasted, I barely pass it, and I still get a bronze. Never again.
But I've talked enough about the license test. Honestly, if you just want to find out for yourself on how ridiculous they can be, honestly, go play them for yourself. It's honestly, I honestly hope you do so much better than I did. I sucked at them, but I'm done with talking about the license test. Let's just go on to the actual races themselves.
But before we pop into that though, we have to buy our first car, but what to buy? And as you can clearly see, we already have so many choices to pick from, but considering we have so much credits to start off with, I think I can somewhat spell out my love for the fact that each brand of car has its own little melody to it when selecting them in the main hub menu. It's the fact they are making each car brand unique by giving them each different pieces of music when in their car shop. It's like they are making each car brand feel that they are bringing something different to the table than other cars, and I really, really like that. But enough of that. I found my car. I took my time and looked through all the configurations, and let me tell you that this engine, this absolute powerhouse machine of a motor, it really, really, really is a piece of shit. This is it. This is the car I need. I mean, it's no Dacia Sandero. That car is an absolute shelter of dreams, isn't that right, James?
That's the Dacia Sandero. It is a Dacia Sandero. It is a new Dacia. I've been sent more information on the Dacia Sandero.
The Dacia Sandero.
The what?
The Dacia Sandero is not coming to the UK.
The Dacia Sandero will have electronic brake force distribution. The Dacia Sandero. I've got a new picture. The Dacia Sandero is almost here.
When?
Next year. Big news.
Is it the Dacia Sandero?
No. The Dacia Sandero has gone on sale in left-hand drive market.
We have some bad news.
Dacia Sandero.
No, not the Dacia Sandero.
Good news.
What?
It's a Dacia Sandero. The Dacia Sandero. It's delayed.
Oh no. Anyway, last week.
But it just needs to fit, that's all. And you know, I'll probably change it in a bit once I pass through these cups with all the qualifiers. Qualifiers? Can I not just race now? Okay, hold on. Oh, go f yourself. Okay, so now we are racing on the exact same course I just did. Makes little sense, but I'll roll with it. And hold on, my car sucks? So, I did a little bit of fine tuning and now it seems ready. It has now transcended into a right as rain motor that still acts like a piece of shit, but it's my piece of shit. I mean, I feel like an idiot for not deciding to fine tune my car or even deciding to test drive it, but truth be told, I never realised tuning up a car mattered so much to the point where every little smidgen edits of parts make the utmost difference when racing. It's amazing to see such little detailed things that can add so much to the difference of a race, especially when you've got to grind for races constantly. And that is no joke, because I had to grind the first cup about 3 times so I could get an ideally fast car because of the huge spike in difficulty between cups, and also get enough credits from the prize money and from selling the prize cars you get as a first place reward. All just so I could upgrade my very first supercar that I needed to acquire for the next Cup Series due to the abysmal handling of my Viper car. Like, Jesus, the car is fast, but holy moly roly cannoli, guys. No upgrades on this thing was just unplayable. In fact, handling it was just unfathomable. The slightest turn would cause you to spin out so much that your next destination on the track could possibly be the rocky lands of Mars. It's just one of those things where you need to keep doing these races again and again and again and again until you get the right tune-up settings for your car, which, believe me, takes a good chunk of time to even get to that end result.
And look, yes, I suck. I know I suck. I'm not the best at this game, and I know there are so many people out there that are so much better than me. But honestly, I'm taking the perspective of my own view from a moderate learner of driving games. Not just a learner driver, but as driving games in general. I don't play these games a lot. I don't know everything about these games. I'm not a big fanatic of Gran Turismo. I'm just tackling this from my own perspective of the game and saying my own opinions. And yes, even though I'm getting annoyed with these stupid qualification races which make no sense, because you literally could just enter the races itself and you could come out still the same, you could come out with the same result, and it really doesn't add much other than the starting point. And yeah, it does maybe add a little bit, but for me personally it never really mattered. I've got maybe like second place qualification and first place qualification sometimes, but it just never really mattered. And stuff like that really annoy me. But despite all the annoyance and grievance and anger, let's be honest, that I had in the end, I actually really enjoyed Gran Turismo 1.
Especially when you have a soundtrack that reeks of awesomeness that is called Gran fucking Turismo. It captures the adrenaline and car feeling, which, yes, that last bit doesn't make much sense, but trust me, listen to it and you'll immediately get a taste of what a racing game truly has to feel like. But even with a soundtrack that is this old, you would think it would maybe have aged in the slightest But no, it actually still kicks ass to this day, with its soundtrack playlist standing at nearly 2.5 million views on YouTube. Thank you very much, Not Your Toy 1. I'm sure none of us would want to play with your toy, as it probably smells, and there's been places we can say are a big turnoff for playing with it, but thank you regardless. And there's even points where it feels like it's a missing track from Spider-Man 2, and if you know, then you get why that's awesome. And you know, every car feels different in their own way. All the engines have their own distinct sound, the handling never feels the same for all the cars, some have better default startup power, and the fact there is more than 150 cars in the game that these rules can apply to is insane. And yeah, I never got that chance to come close to try even half of those cars, but I think it's safe to say that out of the cars I played around with in the career mode, they all felt and played differently to each other. I mean, if you don't want to unlock said cars in the career mode, just jump onto the arcade mode and try any course in the car that you wish to choose and have a better time.
And yeah, the main focus of the game is annoying. It's quite tedious and it really grinds on you, especially with the trial and error stuff. That really is annoying. So then you go to the arcade section and you just think, oh my god, this is so much better. Like, seriously, arcade is so much better. I know it's mental, right?
Seriously, no stress, no wonders, no worrying about tuning up your car, just some good old one-on-one racing. I wish I started with this mode so I could get a great and better feeling of the actual racing and handle the racing a bit more and understand how a lot of the cars worked. I really enjoyed it, and if I recommend it to anyone, I would try arcade mode first, and for mostly, try the career mode if you want to, because it is a main focus after all. But if you want to just chill back and have fun and not throw your controller every corner of your room like I did when I played the career mode, I would just stick to arcade, and that is the best advice I could give for Gran Turismo 1.
Alright, I'll take these off. But, you know, it's actually quite funny. I don't hate Gran Turismo. I really don't. It's actually a really good game regardless, and I think it can be enjoyable. It's just the fact that the amount of patience that you need to complete through the career mode is quite big, I would say. And if I'm being honest, Gran Turismo 1 isn't really the best way to experience a Gran Turismo game. And if I'm being honest, it's the arcade that is more of a much more better way to experience Gran Turismo 1. And so it's one of those things where Gran Turismo 1 isn't something always to go back to. It's mostly to focus on the later games because they're much more superior in their own right. But it's still worth going to Gran Turismo 1 in that respect. But thank you all for joining me today and this latest broadcast of the Gamessnia Show, where we have looked at Gran Turismo 1. I think one of the only racing games I've ever done on this channel as of yet. I want to change that. Let's hopefully make this another one. Hopefully make another one. But I have been your host, Gamessnia, and I all hope you enjoy today's broadcast of the Gamessnia Show. And until the very next broadcast, I will see all of you guys in the very next episode of the Gamessnia Show. But until then, guys, Gamessnia, as usual, signing off.